And it says we are live. It's Thursday night. I'm here. You're beautiful. That must mean it's time for GotBot Goes live. Of course, I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe. And while you're at it, loud my baby. That one wasn't so good. Hit the notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that in the description down below, also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. And we have a lot of news. In fact, I was a few minutes late coming on because I was getting some final notes together of news that was just like revealed, like just within like the last hour or so. And we're going to talk about that as well. We have a lot of statues that were revealed this past week. Some news and notes for Rise of the Beast and Earthspark we're going to talk about a little bit. Shout out to Input. We're going to talk about a recent video that he put up. We will do a round of trivia, and we have a real, I didn't even call it an unboxing, just a quick little pickup. And I'll kind of hint around at, I guess, a couple of interesting things that I should have coming down the pike in just a little bit. And we'll talk about what tomorrow's review will be, as well as what's on tap for next week. So there's a lot happening, baby. A lot happening. Let's take a few minutes for me to just get everything kind of salted away. I apologize, the shaking is just the nature of the beast when it comes to this table that I'm using. It's not the sturdiest thing in the world. So as I do some stuff sometimes, it does move things around. So I do apologize for that a little bit. I hope you guys are having a tremendous week. Of course, we are almost into the weekend, right? Tomorrow is our magic weekend day. Let's see here. We're going to go like this. And we're going to go down here. And we're going to go this way. All right, let's get going. Hey, Brian, happy to see you here, buddy. Big M. Tracer. Hey, Joel. Is it go down? You know what? I did not know that you were from Czech Republic. Oh, that makes sense. The CZ makes sense. Duh. Yeah, I should have known that. Sometimes even I got a bone up on my geography. Wow, Big M, Hound with exclamation marks. I don't know why people say this stuff. If it's news, you know I'm going to get to it eventually. I ain't starting off with the hot button topic right away. Hey, Jay. Hey, Maximal 10. Hey, Ultra Megatronus. Hey, Jason. Omega Maximus, happy to see you here, buddy. And Ash, happy you're here. Let's get going, shall we? I don't want to waste any time tonight. Why waste time when we don't have to? So, a lot of the news tonight, I think we'll be able to get through quickly. I don't think this is going to be a super long show, which is probably okay because the last couple have been kind of long indeed. You never know. Maybe next week will be a longer show. We'll see. So first things first. Just what is it? Just Play, I think it is. 2-inch tall, like little figurines. They're in action poses. They seem to be die cast. They have Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Soundwave, Starscream, and Megatron. I feel like Megatron is painted the best. Bumblebee second. Optimus needs paint on the windows on his chest. He's definitely at the very least missing that. The Starscream, I feel like more paint should be done on the head to differentiate it. And Soundwave is okay, but he needs some paint on his lower legs. I saw those images on tformers.com. So by all means, if you want to see them, go and check them out there, right? Rise of the Beast. So we have a little bit of news from Rise of the Beast, that being a little bit of voice actor news. So the very first one is that comedian Pete Davidson is going to be playing Mirage. I got to be honest, I don't know him. I've never heard of him. This is a nobody to me. It's not a name I know, but I do know Michelle. I assume it's pronounced Yeo, but I have no idea how to say her last name. But I do love Captain Giorgio because I'm actually somebody who has been a fan of the character she has played in Star Trek. So to have her as Air Razor, I like it, and I like the confidence, calmness, yet powerful nature of her voice. Like she feels very self-assured, which I think is good for establishing Airraiser as a strong character. But at the same time, she's very calm with her demeanor, and I feel like having a calm demeanor is going to be something that again will bode well for Airraiser. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but I don't have a problem with that. Other than that, the only voices that we know so far, of course, is Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime and Ron Perlman as Optimus Primal. I can't. They should have went with Gary Chalk, but I mean, it is what it is. Iron Factory. Iron Factory. A little bit of Iron Factory news showed off their IDW Huffer. Now we all know I am not remotely in any way, shape, or form an IDW fan. However, this little 10 centimeter or 3.94-inch dude, though stylized from G1, is really well articulated. And honestly, the robot mode looks great and the truck mode looks fabulous. Is he small? Yes. Would he scale with, say, your like Legacy War for Cybertron mini bots? No. They're a bit bigger than what he is. Would he scale well with, say, your Legends? He would be smaller than the like modern mini bots, but he would be just a touch bigger than the traditional like Legends class mini bots. I think he would tie in fine with those because I think the additional height would really be made up because of his cab up over his head. Head to head, I suspect he would be much like Generations, Cosmos, or Titans Return Beachcomber, or Titans Return Wheelie, or you get the idea, right? So, yeah, Iron Factory. If you're in for a different Huffer other than what came out with the Kingdom line, or you're a huge IDW fan for whatever reason, this might be a nice way to get a really, really nice looking Huffer. Matrix Workshop. They showed off, and again, these images are on tformers.com. They showed off a set that they're doing for the Velocitron Speedia 500 Scourge, which in essence allows his trailer to go attached to his back, but it also gives him his traditional missile pods and the missile. I assume it doesn't work, but the one where you would hit the square thing in the air, the puff of air was supposed to fire it. It gives you that. It gives you a new sword. It gives you a blaster. I like the things that Matrix Workshop does. Generally, I have some of their stuff, and there's nothing here that makes me think I would be worried about the quality of it. Nothing. If you would like to have your Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 Scourge seem a lot like his original, honestly, Matrix Workshop probably has you covered in that respect. I mean, again, take it for what you will. Azure Sea Studios. We've seen these guys before. They showed off some teaser images of their Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. There's only going to be 60 made of this statue. Now, they're big, they're detailed. It's a statue, it doesn't transform. It is really more for the Transformers art collector. If you have seen their Optimus Prime, then this is it with Shattered Glass Optimus Prime colors, right? That darker blue, the purple, the green on the chest, right? If you don't know what it looks like, look it up. Azure Sea Studio Optimus Prime, boom. Or Azure Sea Studio Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, boom. You will see the images, I assure you. They're not hard to find. And then a very interesting note, in Canada, Toys R Us is now making all of their collector figures final sale. That means you won't be able to exchange it. You won't be able to return it. Don't complain to Toys R Us if it's defective. Don't complain to them if they are missing parts. I think it is a big mistake. Now, I've heard some rumors that would suggest that this might be the standard going forward for collector items, so that if something is wrong, you have to go straight to the manufacturer. I don't think that's going to help toy sales at all, or collector sales, or encourage people, because taking Hasbro, for example, their customer service is among the worst I've ever experienced from any company ever. It's awful. I don't want you to send me something of equal value. I want you to send me the thing that I bought that I wanted that was broken or miscolored or missing pieces. I want the thing that I bought. I don't want you to give me more junk. And if you can't give me the thing that I bought, then I want a full refund. It's pretty simple. I've also heard that right now this is just applying really to NECA items. So we'll see how it goes in the future, but I don't think it's a smart business choice at all. And it's going to, anybody who's on the fence, I think this is going to push them over the edge from supporting, for example, Toys R Us. Like, I'm not buying it there if it's going to be final sale. The only way that I would ever entertain it is if I can open the package and inspect the item before I purchase it. If you're not going to let me do that, then I'm not buying it on good faith, because honestly, I don't have good faith with the manufacturers. I don't have good faith with any retailer. Your business, trying to get my money, doing as little as you can. Simple as that. New York City had NYCC, right? New York Comic Con 2022, and Diamond Select was on hand, and they showed off their TF, I guess, uh, like statue minis. The Super 7 was there, and Shogun. So let's try and put this in perspective, so to speak. So Diamond Select showed off their miniatures first with RC Jazz, Galvatron, and Coronation Starscream. To me, they seem a little kind of like the chibi, like super deformed sort of style a little bit. If that's your thing, then maybe these little minis are cool for you. The sculpting and the paint looks nice. They're just not for me. Diamond Select also showed off their milestone 1/6 statues. There's only 1,000 units of these. G1 Grimlock in robot mode looks great, really nicely molded. I feel like the paint is I mean, it's heavily painted. It's very nice, but I look at it and I think I wish you would add more paint details. But maybe that's just me. Beast Wars Primal. Now that one looks done to the nines. And Beast Wars Megatron that we've seen a bunch of times, also done to the nines. I feel like the weakest of the three is Grimlock, but Grimlock still looks phenomenal. There's no doubt about it. But again, much like I mentioned earlier with the Azure Sea Studio Shatterglass Optimus Prime, these Diamond Select milestone statues are just that, statues. Whereas the Azure Sea Studio Shatterglass Optimus Prime is limited to 60 units, the Diamond Select ones are going to be limited to 1,000 units. What else do we have? Super 7 showed off their Shogun, Optimus Prime, Megatron, and Dead Prime. Basically, they're very big. They look the part. I think they have like 3 points of articulation. Wheels can come out in their feet and like roll. And I think it's like $350 or something. Like it's some idiotic, insane amount that harkens back to these Shogun things from the 70s or something. I've never heard of them. So it has no nostalgia or appeal to me. DK3 Breaker is out in Canada. In fact, I saw him today. No, I didn't pick him up because I don't think I need a blue trail breaker. And I don't know what else I would use it for necessarily. Could it come my way? Could I change my mind? Maybe, but it's not a priority. I've seen him there for a few days now. He's not exactly flying off the shelf. We'll see. That said, it's a fantastic mold. I love the Trailbreaker hoist mold. I think it's amazing. Last week I mentioned the 3-0 Cliff Jumper, and I said I was pretty sure that it was a recolor of Bumblebee with a new head. I can now confirm that. In fact, just after the show last week, when we went off the air, I saw photos that had gone up of the Cliff Jumper. Yes, he does have a new head. In fact, he has 2 new heads, one with the battle mask and one that looks more like Cliff Jumper. I think the Cliff Jumper is painted better than the Bumblebee. I think the Bumblebee is very yellow heavy in places where he shouldn't have yellow. The Cliff Jumper has black shoulders. He has gray arms, right? Biceps, elbows, and forearms. His hands should be black, but there's red on the back. I'm okay with that. That's a little stylized. The entire torso is all red, like that seems correct. The upper legs are silver. The feet are red. The only thing that's kind of off, so to speak, is that his shins are red. And I look at it and it kind of, to me, I'm okay with them being red because it gives me sort of nostalgia feels, if you will, for like the old generations Legends class. I guess it was based on the video game Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper. And I like that Cliff Jumper. I thought that was a pretty neat little Cliff Jumper. Let's check in with you guys. Just give me a moment here. Okay. Oh, by the way, I'll mention this too. Jada showed off like little 4 packs of their metal figs. Now I looked at the big like 18 pack, but there is a little 4 pack that's a mix of Beast Wars and G1. It has another Optimus Prime in there, a different mold, a new one, another Megatron mold, again a new one, Optimus Primal and Bumblebee. Now here's the difference between this little set and like the big set that I looked at. The big set I looked at were kind of like true to form. These are again kind of chibi. They're sort of stylized. I would suspect that they're die cast and like have some heft, but they again, you got to be into that chibi, super deformed sort of style, right? If you're into that, then cool. Okay, let's check in with you guys before I go on with the rest of the news. Let's go up here. Hey, Maximal 10. Let's go down here a little bit. I hope we get the GoBots characters like Leader One Cycle. And I wouldn't hold my breath for it. I really wouldn't. There's already been precedent for Crasher. Would I like to see it, Omega? Absolutely. I think it'd be great if they used the right molds. If you're going to stylize it too much, yeah, I mean, a lot of people hate this Crasher. You know, I done the review. A lot of people were like, "How they're out in Canada." I don't mind her. I don't. I do think they should have redone the face, and I have seen I'll say a 3D printed face. But that said, that the only way that's going to work is if you could get it printed in black, and then if you were good enough to paint the face pink, and it would be a tiny paint job, because if you just had it like printed in white or something and painted the head black, when you transform Crasher, like the head kind of scrapes, sort of like it does with Leadfoot, and you'll only scrape the paint off. I don't care what sort of clear coat and stuff you put on it. It's not going to work. It would have to be in black. I don't mind her, but I want them to be recognized. And everybody says Leader One and Psych Hill. I want Turbo. Give me Turbo, man. Adapt Jazz, not Jazz, Wheeljack. Adapt the like Kingdom Wheeljack and give me Turbo. Okay. Hey, Sovereign. Hey, Ken. Thoughts on Earthspark? Well, you know what? Let's do the Earthspark thing now. So we found out in a little vignette this week that this is not the Megatron that we all know. This is good guy Megatron. Now it's been done a couple of times. I don't even know necessarily if I'm going to say good guy Megatron. He seems like a good guy, but I mean, A, it could be a ploy. We don't know. But B, it might just be that the war is over. Okay, it's done. Bygones are bygones. Whatever. Like in the Prime Wars trilogy, Megatron wasn't really a bad guy. He was just indifferent. A lot of people point to the IDW stuff. I hope that this doesn't follow that because I think that's so terribly written. But there is precedent for Megatron wanting a redemption story. And maybe this is it. What I do like is that he's a completely different alt mode. I think that's really neat. I like that. I don't hate him at all. I think it's pretty good. I do detest the face on Optimus Prime. Dude, put on your battle mask and never take it off. Just saying. The premise is interesting post-war. I dig it. But I mean, I talked about that on the live show for eons. So I'm not going to rehash old ground. But you know what? Let's see what happens, right? I know that there was some sort of, by the way, like little 30-second thing about Megatron put out today. I live in Canada, and when I tried to watch it, it said blocked and are not available in your country. So didn't get to see that. By the way, I also heard that apparently Cartoon Network is going out of business or something. I don't know. We don't have that here either. So, hey, Sean C. Dragonfly. Hey, Sovereign. If I didn't say it already. DFS. Hey, Input. Michelle Yo, I know who she is, but the other guy not. Yeah, I don't know the other guy either, Omega. What? Go beyond one's limit? Okay, sure, why not? Hey, Sean C. Is there anywhere I can find Iron Factory's Optimus Prime? I have no idea. Google it, I guess. Look it up. Search online. I don't know. I would imagine any of the e-tailers, Omega, I would guess. Iron Factory Brawn is stupid overpriced, if you say so. I mean, I don't buy any of it because I love Iron Factory, but And I like, I like their product and stuff, or I used to anyway, but I haven't bought anything from them in a while. And it's nothing against them. It's just they've gone very IDW heavy, and I don't like IDW, so it's not for me. I hope we get Drift in Transformers Legacy. Maybe just get the generation. Well, you know what I'm saying? Just get the generation Drift, but I hear he goes for an arm and a leg, so I don't know. My generation Drift I found thrifting for $3, and he was missing a door. And to his credit, Event Progenitor sent me the door. So my Drift cost me $3. I'm not paying $40 for a new one. Let's see. But I think a lot of people would like to see a Drift. And for those who would like to have them in Legacy, hope you get them. That's what I'm going to say. Not everything got to be about me and what I'm going to get. I hope you get them if that's what you'd like. Iron Factory Toys make great desk toys. I guess I hear people say this, and I don't really know what a desk toy is. I have to be honest. I've never really understood what that is. Now, I'm a teacher, so I don't I have a desk, but I'm not really at it. I'm usually up doing stuff, helping students and whatnot. So is it just something you got to pick at your desk? Is that the point of it? I've been working on a Legacy video, but it'll be posted first Sunday of December. Okay, that's a lot of work. I prefer Transformers toys that transform. Yeah, so do I, really. I mean, I'm not in for red and stuff. Now, that being said, there are certain characters and whatnot that I'd be okay if they didn't transform, like some of the Action Master guys that I think would work in the red line. And I did see somebody who took the red Megatron and put it next to the Earthrise Starscream and the Siege Legacy Soundwave. No, lie, Netflix Soundwave. And he fit right in, honestly. And it was like, maybe that's the Megatron that you might want to go with. I reviewed it. I didn't like the tactile feel of the materials of the red line. And after I reviewed Wave 1, I was like, I don't want to touch any more of these. I don't like the feel of them. It felt gummy to me. Pete Davidson was in the Suicide Squad as bodyguard. Okay, so I haven't seen the Suicide Squad. He was in Kings of Staten Island. Never heard of it. SNL, haven't watched it since the early 90s. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, have never watched it. Those kind of films. So I've never seen anything he's in. That's why I don't know. Also, tomorrow is Back to the Future Day. Okay, if you say so. I don't know what that is, but okay. As we go down here, I collect mostly Transformers toys, Star Wars toys, Marvel toys, and DC toys. I'm Transformers, and that's it. I couldn't afford anything else. Quite frankly, I make a good income, but I got a family and a mortgage, and I want to be able to retire and stuff. So and honestly, this one is, the prices are getting pretty stupid. I mean, it is what it is, right? I got to get to NYCC next year. Tomorrow is a Transformers holiday day in 2004. President George W. Bush declared Autobot Day an American national holiday to be celebrated every October 14th. Neat. I feel like I heard that before, but neat. I knew it was good for something. I don't know how you guys remember any of this stuff, like Autobot Day and stuff. How do you remember this stuff? Did I do something right? Blue Trailbreaker as... Yeah, Blue Trailbreaker, but then they should have just released him as Shatterglass Trailbreaker with the purple symbol. I don't have Shatterglass Autobot symbols. And honestly, if anything, we need more Decepticons. The Autobots have them grossly outnumbered. Grossly outnumbered. I'll be laughing if I get the Trailbreaker. Okay. I hope you get them then. I like Jada about mostly the Transformers cars. Yeah, and I think that's their strength. But I mean, if they want to dip their hand into the robots, I guess why not? If you like the chibi style. Dennis secretly wants a scooter GoBot. Fun fact: Cyril already gave me one. So there. And yeah, actually, I kind of did want a scooter GoBot because he was the only of the quintessential 6 that I didn't have as a kid. I had Crasher. I found Coptor. I only ever saw him twice, but I had him. I had Psykill, and then I broke that one, so I ended up with that weird, black one with the green on him. But I had 2 Psykill, technically. I had Leader 1. I had Turbo. but I never had Scooter. Never ever saw him. I knew one kid who had him. Now I got a Scooter. And then of course, like I had other ones like Fitor and blah 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 and so on and so forth. Hey, Burn It Down. Burn It Down. Is that a Seth Rollins reference? I'm just curious. Burn It Down. Is it a Seth Rollins reference? Got to find studio series car dropkick parts. Why parts? Why do you have to find parts, Blue? Adapt Titans Return Highbrow to Coptor. Oh, you could do that. That'd be pretty good, actually. I was speechless when I saw Earthspark Megatron. Totally lost for words. Okay. Haven't been here in months. No, well, man, you miss out, right? Or Squeaks. I'm okay with Squeaks. I got a Squeaks there. I'm okay with Squeaks. I thought he was kind of fun. I mean, he's a doof, but like it was a fun little transformer. I saw the Earth Mode Hound. Oh, I'm going to talk about that in a bit. I wonder we'll get Power Glide and Buzzworthy. Why would we get Power Glide and Buzzworthy? Why wouldn't we just get Power Glide in Legacy? I don't know. I mean, if that's what you want, I guess. Again, I'm happy with the Legends Power Glide. I don't need any of these updated, see? So I don't have the same drive. Like I don't want to pay $40 for a Power Glide. I'm not interested in that. I would back what? I would hacksaw the Generations Drift in RID 2015 colors. Why? Really want Prowl released in Buzzworthy or Legacy range? Okay. I don't know why people say like we got a Prowl. We got 2 Prowls recently. I don't know. I mean, maybe. You never know. Maybe they'll do it in Buzzworthy. Maybe they'll do it in Buzzworthy. They've done it with others. So, if you need them or you want them, hope you get them in Buzzworthy. With a bunch of characters being released since War for Cybertron Trilogy and Legacy, how about a top 10 video of characters that still need new updates? We done that a while ago, if I'm not mistaken. Batfam 1. I don't know exactly how long ago. Hold on, see if I can find it. While we're here live, why don't I see if I can find it? I thought we did it. Maybe we didn't do it, but I thought we did it. Yeah, we did. We done it 1 month ago. So yeah, it's already done, Batfan. Obviously, nice to know you're hanging around the channel, buddy. Just saying. I tried to look up the Cartoon Network thing, but my post website wanted to run codes for my video card. I don't know what any of that means, but okay. Look forward to a non-siege Hound. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a few minutes. That jumped down on me a lot. I don't have ADHD, but I have desk bots. So when I have a when I have a lull or need to think, I don't get a lull. I deal with little kids. There is no lull. There is no phoning in a day. There is no, oh, I'm tired today. It's you're on from the moment that you get there to the moment that you leave. There is no down, especially now because there's a lot going on and it's busier than ever. There's a reason I'm tired at the end of the day. My workstation is covered in toys, Kent. Interesting. I mean, I can't relate. It's just one of those things that it's not a part of my life. Interesting. If I get any red, I'll probably make them statues. I don't see the point in getting them then. Grimlock gone. Thanks. It was last week, but you know what? I'll take a belated happy Thanksgiving. Autobot Day should have been in the news, and I completely forgot about it. Should have been on the news. I don't see why it would be on the news, but okay. I seriously got minimal Decepticons in it. Yeah, we seriously have minimal Decepticons in Shatterglass. Like it is already vastly outnumbered by the Autobots. Blue Trailbreaker Legacy Prime Breakdown. Maybe. I could kind of see that, Tracer. I had a scooter. Ash had a scooter. The Trailbreaker mod folks was super cool. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. Oh, you broke it. Oh, that's sad. Blue. Powerglide was a thought. I don't want him really. Drift was my want. Sorry, I just woke up from a nap. I don't really have any wants. Like if I stop, I guess. Well, I can't say if I stop right now because I do want the last two of the Dinobots because that's not done, and I guess the other two Insecticons. But other than that, like I'm okay. Phytor, yes, I'd be cool with a Phytor. I still don't have a Prowl to go with the other Nissan bots that I have now collected. I mean, there's the Classics Prowl, there was the Siege Prowl, there's the Earthrise Prowl. Now, I guess the Earthrise Prowl is probably hard to get, so maybe. I think a lot of people said that they had trouble getting that set, the Prowl and the Ironhide. That's what I've heard. I don't know. I really I don't know for sure, but I think now that you mention it, I think that I did hear that. So you know what? Maybe why not redo a Prowl? Sure, why not? I'll get behind that. Every year I make a top 8 Christmas birthday list for Transformers, non-Transformers. I Last year came for Christmas and there was literally nothing I wanted. I didn't ask for anything because I either it wasn't out yet or I had it. I don't know. I guess I was fortunate, I suppose. Just notice that Cosmos is on the shelf behind you and he looks huge, too huge. Yeah, Cosmos is a bit big. I'm not gonna lie, a bit too big. He's great, he is, but I if you wanted to scale with the rest of the mini bots, I think he's a bit too big for that. Funny enough, a lot of people with the Cosmos said, you know what, I don't even want it. I'm going to stick with the Generations. There's an argument for that. Both are great. Here's the thing. I'm not, I wouldn't start a debate because guess what? The Generations or Titan's Return is fantastic. The Velocitron is fantastic. Cosmos is one of those characters where he's really lucky that he has multiple fantastic versions of himself. Now, that's even besides any of the third-party legends or like the MP stuff. Like for such a weird oddity as Cosmos is being a UFO, and like he's a weird robot mode, honestly, he's got a ton of really great offerings of himself. Let's go on with the news. 3-0 showed off their deluxe Jetfire. Now, the M Deluxe, like the Bumblebee, pardon me, like the Bumblebee and the Cliff Jumper, stands at about 5 inches or so. And I think they retail for about 75 Canadian. So I don't know, 50, 60 US, if I'm not mistaken. The Deluxe, not the M Deluxe, the Deluxe, like this Jetfire is, stands 15 inches. He has 65 points of articulation, tons of paint and molded in detail, and he comes apart into like a bajillion pieces and can go affixed to the 3-0 Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime that they did a while ago to give us, of course, Jetwing Optimus Prime. That's gigantic. It looks amazing. Really, really amazing. Renegade Games. Apparently, they have a hope to, I guess, show off a Transformers as well as a GI Joe and Power Rangers version of the board game Risk. So just like kind of everything gets done as a Monopoly, Renegade Games is trying to expand Risk into a number of other franchises. When it comes to the Hasbro franchises, that would include Risk as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I guess, Risk as G.I. Joe, Risk as Transformers. So if you like the game Risk and you like Transformers, I don't know, might be the way to go. TFCon LA will be back in March. I feel like there's too many TFCons now. Like I feel like there's 4 or 5 of them a year. I don't know. It kind of waters it down. New Age Legends Shattered Glass Jetfire. Now we saw. Oh man, hold on, guys. You know what I'm doing here. And hold on. that. Bum, bum. There. All right. Let's try this again. Glad I got that taken care of. Hasbro already had a Transformers Risk based on the 2007 movie. I have it, sadly, never got to play it. I don't know how to play it. I've never played it, actually. Monopoly, the game that makes you what? Win to losing? I don't know what that means. I don't know what win to losing is. Want to lose? Maybe. I don't. I like Monopoly. I need a sign that says bot swatting, right? Holy moly. Yeah, so the new age Shattered Glass Jetfire. Look, whether you want the toy accurate colors or the cartoon accurate colors or the Shattered Glass colors, the new age Jetfire for a Legends collector is fantastic. It stands 18 centimeters. Is that big enough? I don't know, but he's pretty great if that is the slant that you're taking with your collection, right? Because he has a very specific size class that he appeals to. We also have from Mechanic Toys and Dr. Wu. Finally, we talked about this a while ago. There's going to be some repaints of it that will be exclusive, but the Revenge of the Fallen Wheelie, the little wheelie. We saw that the robot mode is 8 centimeters and the car mode or the remote control truck mode is 5 centimeters. Honestly, this makes sense. This scale makes sense. If you were to put it with mainline Transformers, yes, Wheelie was that tiny. He was itty bitty. He was a loudmouth, but he was itty bitty. I think it makes perfect sense. I really do. And honestly, I've mentioned it before. Like I have Dr. Wu's Chatter. I have their Mohawk, and they're fun. They're really fun, well done, well built for as tiny as what they are. The wheelie looks fantastic. He looks well painted, well molded. I would expect that he would be a very clever little guy. We already talked about Good Guy Megatron in Earthspark, and I am looking forward to that. We saw a little video for the MPG train bots. Specifically, we saw the arm attached to the body as a combiner. I feel like that when you see it combined and you see how thick and robust it is, that's where the MP kind of label is where it's applied. Is it the best train bots out there? I think the Moon Studios takes that one. But maybe once it's all done, maybe. Honestly, neither of them are for me because they're both meant for like masterpiece collectors, and that's not even remotely an area of interest for me. Flame Toys for I Action Leo Prime or Lio Convoy, if you will. Now, they done a Farai Lio Convoy or Leo Prime. This is the Farai Action. This is another level up. The word action apparently makes it another level up. Who knew? But he will be fully painted. He will include die cast parts. He has a cape and not 10, not 20, not 30, 40, or 50, but 60 points of articulation. Plus the line head thing can come off and become a shield. Problem, again, as was pointed out earlier by who was it that said that? Hold on, I'm gonna go back here. Who was it that said that? Hey, Raphael, been a while, man. I think it was Omega who said it, that he wants his Transformers to transform. So, like, I'm the same thing. So this isn't for me, but it might be for you. Bot sniping is fun. I never knew how to play Monopoly. Then you should learn because that's how the world works. Monopoly I like because it's in a lot of ways it's how the real world works. Like you have to pay income tax. You can win a beauty contest, but you have to, buy property. Yeah, let's put hotels on it and charge rent. Let's put houses on it and charge rent. It's business. It's business. As simple as that. Willie would be core or micromaster, barely screen up. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I think he would be more micromaster, which is why I think that this makes sense. I don't think he'd be core. Core should be the size that the mini bots are. He's not that big. I don't mind. Didn't know today was Thursday. Well, it's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday, baby. Willie was probably under the sea in a pineapple. Okay, maybe. Just entered the stream. Not sure if Earthspark has been. We did, insofar as it's not much to talk about other than Good Guy Megatron, and I don't hate the idea. remember, this is post-war, and a lot of people are like looking at Megatron's chest and Optimus's shoulder, and they're like, what is this symbol? Guys, the war is over. Maybe the whole Autobot Decepticon badges just don't matter anymore, just don't exist anymore. Maybe this is just, hey, I am an Iaconian. Maybe it's like your town or something. I don't know. And I like that Megatron is a plane. I think it looks good. I think Megatron is going to be, I'm hoping Megatron is going to be a character that I'm really going to gravitate to in this show, because I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. So we'll see. We'll see. There is a law that basically the anti-monopoly for business. Yes, this is true. This is true. Hence the irony of the name Monopoly, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, don't be gone long, Blue. Or it's a mercenary. I don't think it's a mercenary emblem. I guess it could be, but I don't think so. I think everybody is stuck in the days of the war. This is post-war. I think that the bad guy is going to be that human. How serious of a threat is he going to be? I don't know. Will the Decepticons be a threat? I would presume so. Who's leading them if not Megatron? I mean, money would say Starscream, but who knows? Like, here's the thing. Anything that we say and do now is speculation until the show comes out. You know, enjoy the show when it comes, right? What else do we have here? Not a whole lot. Optimus and Bumblebee converting costumes. That was really cool. Where you can get your kid basically a Bumblebee or Optimus Prime converting costume. It's a contest. I can't tell you the rules of it or anything because I didn't look at it, because the first thing it says is only in the United States. So I was like, pass. It had nothing to do with me. So if you have a little one that might like a converting Optimus or Bumblebee costume and you'd like a chance to win one, enter the contest, I guess. They look pretty cool, honestly. They look pretty cool. They're kind of simple, but they look pretty cool. Just before we went on air tonight, the Micro Machines Optimus Prime, that's out in the US. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the entire truck, and the truck turns into like an armored garage, I think, where you can put other Micro Machines with it. I don't know, but it might even come with a couple of them. I want to say like Barricade and Smokescreen or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but if you're into Micro Machines and you want the Optimus Prime that turns into the armored gas station or armored garage thing, it's out in the US. And finally, what everyone's been talking about, the last piece of news just before we went on the air, Buzzworthy Hatchet and Hound. So Buzzworthy Bumblebee Hatchet, 100% in for. And here's the thing, he might be garbage. Hatchet might be trash. And I don't know why they're doing Hatchet as a Buzzworthy Bumblebee offering and not a Studio Series offering, because everything I'd always heard was that it was going to be Studio Series. So why it's becoming Buzzworthy? I don't know. But I have all the other dreads, right? I have Berserker, I have Crankcase, I have Crowbar. I don't have Hatchet. And then I heard that he was canceled. I'm glad he's not. Yeah, I want Hatchet. It's as simple as that, just because I have the other dreads. And then we have Earth Mode Hound. Now, when the Siege one came out, a lot of people kind of went bonkers over it. And I have the Siege mold for the Cybertron Defense Hotshot. It's a fine mold. It's an interesting transformation. It's kind of clever. But for Hound, I didn't really like it, because I thought the Classics was better. The Classics was more what I wanted. The coloration was right, generally. And it turned into the Earth Mode Jeep. I love the Classics. Then I see this one. This is a heck of a Hound. I wasn't in for the Siege one to replace my Classics. I just wasn't in for it to replace my Classics. And while all we've seemed to see so far is a computer render, and it's only been the robot mode, it's obviously adapted from the Siege, which I did like the transformation on. I did like the solidity of the robot mode. I did like the solidity of the vehicle mode. I just didn't like it as Hound. If this can look right in vehicle mode, I might be in for it. I think that it looks really good. It seems to have some 5mm ports on it, which will be nice for things like weaponizers and whatnot. He has the thing on his shoulder, and it looks like his other blaster. Everything looks right on it. Now, some people might say, hey, there's a bit of a too much sea of green, some extra paint maybe on the grill or something might be nice. And I think we'll have to wait and see how it translates in plastic. But I think this hound is going to be very popular, and I think it's going to be one that folks are really going to want. Here's the nice thing for me. While I think I'm in for it, cool. If it's going to be one of those things where I got to break my back to get it and pay, 3 times more than what it's actually worth to get it, then I'll gladly stick with my classics because that's still fantastic. I have real high hopes for this hound. Real high hopes. We'll see how it plays out. But I'm very, very, very interested. I'm also going to note this. So tomorrow's review is going to be the KO of Masterpiece Ratchet, owned by our buddy Justin from the 3D Corner. And I'm going to tell you now, it's bad. It's really bad. Really, really bad. The QC is just awful. Just awful. I will be for anybody out here who knows the actual, knows the official, please watch the review and see what the KO is like, and let me know just how much better the original is, because there's some design choices that if it's no better on the original, then I would be very concerned about major breakage issues, because there's a couple of design things with the KO that I think are atrocious, really atrocious. Most notably the shoulders and the rear tires, most notably, but that's not all. So that'll be tomorrow. Then next week, the plan is to look at, and I thought these two kind of fit together nicely, honestly, is to look at, and this is courtesy of Razor Bear, G2 Optimus Prime. And yes, I risked putting the sword in his hand. I might have a stress mark on that thumb. G2 Optimus Prime. Now, for anybody who's a Shattered Glass fan, they know that this mold, which is kind of small, or I thought it was kind of small for a deluxe. We'll explore this next week. It was used for Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus. And the whole kind of story behind it was that Magnus tried to have an uprising against Optimus and lost. And through all the machinations, when he returned, he had taken on a new body because Optimus had. So now he had just as strong of a body as Optimus. The other one we're going to look at next week, of course, will be this guy, the new Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus. And it's very interesting because I go into the lore more than the review, though I have never looked at the Earthrise Magnus before now. I like it. I'll compare it with my upgraded Combiner Wars. I'll talk about what I think things on this are supposed to represent in relation to this mold. I will give some of the history and backstory of Delta Magnus and, the Primus Vanguard and the Primal Vanguard. We'll talk a bit about Magna Convoy and where he comes from, and some of the backstory of our Shattered Glass boy himself. We're even going to talk a little bit about what I believe this to be. I don't think it's just a simple Energon sword. Well, it is a simple Energon sword, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to represent the Terminus blade, the dreaded Terminus blade, which I'm really cool with. And if you don't know what that is and how it ties to Nexus Prime, yes, Nexus Prime, I'll sort it all out for you next week. There's a lot of interesting lore here to kind of delve into. As well, if you didn't see it, speaking of not wanting to pay $40 for Power Glide, Input a couple of days ago, if not maybe yesterday, actually put up a video where he discusses, since War for Cybertron and Legacy has happened, he discusses the, QC issues that have become known and that have occurred. And it's a staggeringly high percentage that have known QC issues for staggeringly high prices. It's a very interesting watch that he did, and there was a lot of math that went into what he did. Worth the watch from Input. So shout out to Input there. I would break down Hasbro Pulse to get them to make Shattered Glass Tread Shot, Run Amok and Runabout. I mean, you would break down Hasbro Pulse. That's pretty awesome. Hound was an amazing aftermarket, though. I never had him. He is alternator. Yes, he was an amazing alternator. You're right, he was, and it matched him perfectly. Took a while to find him, Maxwell 10, but well worth it. But had to run an errand. That's fine. I do want to get the Shattered Glass Magnus, but to use it for Delta Magnus, and that's fair. That's fair. There's an argument for using it as Delta Magnus as well. Had my own idea for Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus designs. That's fair too. The higher the price, the smaller the quality. Hasbro's way. I'm going to give you guys the. Oh, by the way, Galaxy Shuttle. I had another thought about Galaxy Shuttle. When I reviewed the Astro Train, I said I don't like the mold as Astro Train. I think it's too small. I'm just not a fan of it. And I didn't like all the junk being in with him. I feel like with Galaxy Shuttle, this is a time where like the feet things, just to give him an extra couple of inches, like whatever junk you can put on Galaxy Shuttle to make him bigger, put it on to make him bigger because the guy's supposed to be bigger. That's kind of my takeaway there. So this is a time where if you're going to have all this extra stuff in the package, even though it still doesn't come anywhere close to being a leader class, it just doesn't. I'm sorry, it's not. But if you're going to have all this other junk in there, then this is an opportunity, I think, to actually use it. Okay, let's do this this week's trivia, and then we'll do the very, very quick just pick up from the week. And I'm going to note something else that I've wanted to note for years, and then we'll get out of here. So here's the question. In the episode Child's Play, in the G1 episode Child's Play, Optimus Prime introduces the Autobots to Aaron, but he forgets one of them. Who does he forget when he's introducing the Autobots? Does he forget A, Smokescreen? Does he forget B? Does he forget C, Perceptor? Or does he forget D, Inferno? When he introduces the Autobots to Aaron, Optimus Prime forgets to include one of the Autobots. Who does he forget to include in his introductions? Is it A, Smokescreen, B, Bumblebee, C, Perceptor, or D, Inferno? So I'm going to let you guys kind of think about that for a moment. Let's just go back and sort of see a little bit here. Input preach the truth. He did preach the truth. He was right. And he had the math there. He had the thing, like, you can't argue with facts. You cannot like it. You can say, oh, no, that's not good. But the facts are the facts. And if he's saying it, here's the thing. He's not just saying it and being a complainer. He's saying it and he's backing it up with things that have actually happened. Like, for example, if somebody was to say, Shattered Glass Starscream does not yellow, you're wrong. That's a lie. Fact is, there are a multitude that have, and the pictorial evidence is all over the internet from thousands of people, not one or two, thousands. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? Just looked that up. What? Just looked up that Hound renders. I've been down for him. Yeah, I agree, Dragonfly. I agree. Oh, yeah, I saw that Grimlock Gone got the War for Cybertron art book, too. He sent me a couple of pictures out of it. Very cool book to have. Very interesting book to have, to kind of see a little behind the scenes of some of that stuff. I didn't get Galaxy Shuttle. I have no idea who the heck he is. He is one of, how can I put this? In G1, Skyfire was basically a plane or an Airbus for Autobots. Let's be realistic. Galaxy Shuttle is the same thing for Transformers Victory. He's basically an Airbus for them. And you know the whole like shuttle launch pad thing for Micromasters? He is the shuttle that's on that. So yeah, he should be big because he transports around Transformers. He's about the size of probably Omega Supreme. Like he's a combiner size. Like if we're comparing it to, say, modern day combiners, like the Legacy Menasor, Galaxy Shuttle should be about the size of Legacy Menasor, maybe slightly bigger than that. I purposely sent the Reveal the Shield Prime specifically because Shattered Glass Magnus was also headed your way. You knew I'd put them together, buddy. You knew I'd put them together. The problem with Shattered Glass Magnus is that is more of a Delta Magnus than a Shattered Glass Magnus. Absolutely. And honestly, Caldeo, Input and I have had the exact same conversation. But I do draw some interesting comparisons with how I think they try or how people try to justify this Magnus as the other one. By the way, I detest the hands on the back of the truck, so I did the whole thing in the transformation where you don't see the hands because they're covered up. Let's see, DC Inferno, Dragonfly says smokescreen. Percy. He was a character in Transformers Victory in Zone. Yes, he was. Inferno, A, J, A, B, C, and D. Inferno. I got the answer, ladies and gentlemen. E holler. That's funny. Yeah, the answer is A. The answer indeed is A. It is Smokescreen. He forgot to mention. In fact, Smokescreen kind of appears and disappears through the episode. It was a bit weird. It was really, really a bit weird. Okay, so yeah, that is huge. Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a big boy, and he's Star Saber's buddy. So the War for Cybertron Siege box art does state some interesting facts and events, like Shockwave secretly surviving the explosion. Okay, I guess. I mean, it's box art. You can't read anything in the box art. It's just box art. I forget. Did you get your A Leader's Born pack secured? I did get it secured, actually, Sovereign. To my surprise, I'm thankful that it was secured. I don't have it yet, and I don't know when it's supposed to release. But yes, I do have it secured. And as a matter of fact, I kind of, when we look at Ultra Magnus, I kind of talk about that as well. And I talk about another Shattered Glass character, or at least someone who has become a Shattered Glass character. It's a lot of lore. When I do that review, I think it'll be very interesting for a lot of people, especially people who are either not really aware of the Shattered Glass lore or are a real fan of the Shattered Glass lore and sort of see how I sort of think about it. The book. Oh, the book art. I'm sorry. I thought you said box art. I'm sorry, Keldy. I thought you said box art. I misread, buddy. Checking in at the end of the stream. Been a long day. I hear you, man. Hey, Ninja Bill. I'm unfamiliar with Shattered Glass. I love Shattered Glass. I have since A Mirror Darkly, which I think was the name of the Star Trek episode, right? Bad guy Spock with that goatee. Come on. Honestly, if someone buys my high school yearbook, you might find me somewhere. I won't say school name or real name. Then how would anybody know you, Blue? Like, I'm not going looking for anybody's yearbook. Get real. The Terran Empire. Yeah, the Terran Empire. Absolutely, man. The Terran Empire. Okay, so the two things to note, and the very little pickup, and then we're going to get out of here because we've had a pretty good show. So, yeah, you missed most of it. Of course, you missed most of it, Ninja Bill, but that's okay, baby. That's okay. The biggest news, Ninja Bill, people really dig that Buzzworthy Hound. I want both Hound and Hatchet. If I don't get Hound, I'll survive because I adore the classics. Hound is going to be one of those guys who's going to be really lucky. Much like Cosmos, Hound is going to be really lucky that he has so many excellent versions of himself. Okay, so I've never in my life before now had an opportunity to experience the first edition Viacon. This is really interesting. It has its flaws, notably the lack really of a bicep swivel. It has its flaws, but man, what an involved yet intuitive transformation. Couple of things I would have slightly done differently, but this is pretty good. And I've never experienced it before. But after I transformed that, I went to the regular Viacon. And I've said for years and years and years and years now that I had no idea about this mold. I knew nothing about it. People have, said it's a fantastic transformation, and they've kind of like hyped it to the hills since I've been collecting. And I was just like, I never had an opportunity to experience it. Oh, buddy. This is so good. This is so good. I love how all of that folds up so nice. I love the way the arms were done. There's so much articulation. This is shockingly good. I love it. Really do. Even if the coloration is off from the animation, love it. Really do. Down for Buzzworthy Hound. Oh, caps lock. Steve Supremo is here, folks. What? Steve? Okay. The Prime Viacon seems complicated to me, and it's why I made Card Dropkick as Viacon. I have news for you. The card drop kick is infinitely more complicated than that. Infinitely more complicated. The Prime Viacon is one of the smoothest, most beautiful transformations I've ever encountered. I mean, a lot of times when people hype stuff up, I end up super disappointed. Not this time. Not this time. I gotta say, not this time. Yes, Buzzworthy Hound. They're taking the Siege mold Ninja Bill and giving it an Earth mode and releasing it in Buzzworthy. I think I'm in for that one. Pending what? Pending night of you will what? Pending night of you find it well. I don't know what you're saying. The Prid Viacon transformation is magic. And you know what, Razor Bear? You're right. It's magic. Bonus info, there was a sort of part 2 in the episode Child's Play called The Gambler. Yeah, well, The Gambler is a far cry from part 2. But yes, it's been speculated that the whole reason that Smokescreen was in Child's Play was because he was going to be a focus in The Gambler. Yes, you're right. He looks good. Will Hound be hard to get, do you think? Yeah, I do. I suspect he will be. Because since he's Buzzworthy Bumblebee, that means in the US he's going to be a Target exclusive. That means here he's going to be a Toys R Us exclusive. I don't know. Yeah, I think he's going to be hard to get. Honestly, I say I'm in for it and stuff, but again, a lot of that will depend on if I can get it because we all know what distribution's like, right? Why Hound and Buzzworthy not in Legacy? Exactly, Keldeo. Exactly, buddy. It was reply to SK. I'm sorry. Good one. Only woke up just last night. Feels like $1 million. Join the club. We get merchandise. Okay. And my very little pickup comes from Ultra Megatronus. So I said that we're going to be looking at. Those two next week, the Shatterglass Magnus and the G2 Optimus Prime. The week after that, we're going to finally take a look at, we're going to take a look at the Shatterglass Blaster. And interestingly, and I didn't realize it until I started doing the review, he doesn't come with Shatterglass Eject. Even though it's the same mold as Eject, he comes with Shatterglass Rewind. I thought that was clever. But we're also going to take a look at, on loan to me by a good friend of the channel, Maximal 10, we're going to be taking a look at his Alita 1. But Ultra Megatronus hooked me up with Alita 1 as well. Even though I still think that this mold is best suited for Minerva, we'll see what I think of her when the time comes. Who knows? If I get an opportunity between now and then, maybe I'll give people a little sneak peek or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. October, November, particularly busy months. And always are for our family, particularly busy months. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We are done. Boom. We got through the news. We got through my quick little pickup. We got through me gushing over the Viacons and even what's coming up tomorrow with that just wretched KO of Shatterglass Ratchet. Wait till you see everything wrong with this thing. And then next week, we already know what we have up and coming. Of course, the Shatterglass Magnus and the G2 Optimus. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We are done. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know, man, how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link or check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, man, each and every single solitary day, each and every one of you right there, you do make a difference. And I look forward, baby, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams here on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old-fashioned way inside the videos. Have a good weekend, folks.